Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Let us now chant the verses we have covered. 15th chapter, 4th verse. Please repeat after me. Natvam deho nate deho, natvam deho nate deho, bhokta karta nava bhavan, bhokta karta nava bhavan, chidruposi sada sakshi, chidruposi sada sakshi, nirapeksha sukham chara, nirapeksha sukham chara, raga dvesho mano dharmo, raga dvesho mano dharmo, namanaste kadachana, namanaste kadachana, nirvikalposi bodhatma, nirvikalposi bodhatma, nirvikara sukham chara, nirvikara sukham chara, sarvabhuteshu chatmanam, sarvabhuteshu chatmanam, sarvabhutani chatmani, sarvabhutani chatmani, vijnaya nirahankaro, vijnaya nirahankaro, nirmamastvam sukhi bhava, nirmamastvam sukhi bhava, vishvam spurati yatredam, vishvam spurati yatredam, taranga iva sagare, taranga iva sagare, tattvam eva na sandeha, tattvam eva na sandeha, chinmurte vijvaro bhava, chinmurte vijvaro bhava. Ashtavakra points out, we are not the body. Our primary identification with the body, we are profoundly mistaken. We are not the body. Why are we not the body? I hope you remember the pointers. We used 3 pointers. Can you tell me one? Drigdrishya, because the seer and the seen. I am the awareness. I am aware of the body. You, the knower, the seer, the subject, and what you know, what you see, the object, the two cannot be the same. So if I am aware of the body, then I cannot be the body. It is something I am aware of. That's one. Another one? Chidja, this is a subtle one. I am awareness. I am aware of the body. I am awareness. Is the body awareness? No. Chidjara. But do you appreciate this subtle difference between the first one and the second one? The first pointer, seer and seen. It's an object to me. Second one, where is awareness? Always in me, not in the body. So awareness and not awareness cannot be the same thing. Therefore, I and the body cannot be the same thing. One more. Changing and unchanging. So I have the intuition that I am the unchanging self, which has experienced the child's body and the growing body and the maturing body and the aging body, and one day it will experience maybe the death of the body. I am the same self. If I am the same self and the body is changing so much, how can the changing and the unchanging be the same thing? Because we say, I am changing, I have changed so much over my life. But when we look closely, what do I mean is, the body has changed a lot. My knowledge has changed a lot. My thoughts have changed a lot. Maybe my perception. I'm a new person. No, you're not. Your thoughts have changed. Maybe your attitudes have changed. maybe your preferences have changed. All those are in the mind. And you are aware of what was in the mind earlier and what is in the mind now, and therefore say, I have changed. Only in identification with the mind or the body. But the awareness itself, has it changed? No. So because of these reasons, and there are many others, we begin to understand that we are not the body. But not just, don't take them just as arguments, as logical arguments, which they are, but deeper. Take them as facts of experience. Look at it and see that true. Just as I see this cup and it's different from the eyes, same way I see the body and the mind too. And so it must be different from me. If I am not the body and not the mind, then what am I? I must be whatever I am. This unchanging awareness, seer. It must be of the nature of awareness, because there is experience. I am aware. Clearly so, I am of the nature of awareness. He says, you are of the nature of pure consciousness. The self is nothing other than awareness. Bodhatma. The self is nothing other than awareness. Chidruposi. You are of the nature of pure consciousness. You are ever the witness, never the witnessed. And yet, the next thing Ashtavakra says is, all that we experience in life, the people and the events of our lives, the sensations, what we see and hear and smell and taste and touch, what we eat and drink, the pleasure that we feel, the pain that we suffer, all of that, notice, it is all in awareness. It has to be. If you have experienced it, it must have been in your awareness. Are these objects outside your awareness? It does not make any sense to say that. It makes no sense to say that the people I dreamt of, the events that happened in my dream, they actually happened outside. They did not. They happened in my mind. True. It makes no sense to say that the happiness that I feel or the pain that I suffer somehow exists outside my experience. It doesn't. It's only in my experience that there is pain and pleasure. Exactly like that, every object is experienced in awareness. In fact, think of it this way. The objects are nothing apart from their experiencing. I've said something difficult. What do I mean? Here, what do you see? A white piece of paper, a white napkin, right? So you're seeing this. Now if you attend closely to it, our first reaction is, yes, it's outside me. I am here, and there is the Swami holding this napkin, paper napkin. But if you actually, instead of looking at what your thoughts are telling you, if you just attend closely to our seeing, the experience of seeing this, you will see a patch of white color. Isn't it? And then the mind supplies the rest, that it's a napkin and so on and so forth. But all that we are actually seeing is a patch of white color. A shape, a white shape. Is it not? And apart from our seeing, the experience of seeing this white shape, is there anything else in this experience? Apart from the white shape which you are seeing, apart from this, is there separately a thing called a napkin which you are experiencing? No. All that you are experiencing is a white shape. And the rest, mind is supplying the ideas about it. We are so convinced there is a napkin outside which I am seeing right now. But all that we are experiencing is a white shape. Nothing apart from the seeing of it. And the seeing, this experience of seeing, attend closely. This experience of seeing, is it anything apart from awareness? It's only in your awareness, entirely in our awareness, that we are having this experience of seeing. What I'm saying is, this object is nothing apart from your experiencing, like seeing. And your experiencing is nothing apart from the awareness which you are. 2 stages. Doesn't make sense? Let me make it even simpler. Forget Advaita. This object that I'm holding here. Our common sense says, yes, Swami is holding a napkin, a paper napkin which is outside me. I am seeing a paper napkin outside me. I am the body, and here I see a paper napkin outside me. True or not? This is what we think. Even in medical science, even in the most materialistic approach in medical science, this is a false statement. You know why? You know why? What we are experiencing right now, any doctor will tell you, you are not seeing a napkin outside your body. What you are seeing is light reflected from this napkin goes into your eyes, into the retina of your eyes, and by the time it enters your eyes, it enters our eyes. The napkin has not entered our eye. The napkin has not entered our eye. If it did, 911. Come here. Come and sit here. There's a place there too, okay. Yeah. The napkin has not entered our eyes. If it did, we would have to call the emergency. All that enters the eyes. You see so many things, but what's the only thing that enters the eyes? Light. Basic biology. The only thing, thank God, the eyes are made only for receiving light and nothing else. Not a napkin, not a hand, not a cup, nothing. You'd be blind immediately if the things that we saw actually entered the eyes. Of course not. Only thing that enters the eyes is light. And the moment it goes inside, there's an image which is formed. Very soon, within a fraction of a second, even the image is gone. What remains? Just tiny bursts of electricity moving in our optical nerves. True or not? There is no napkin, there is no light, there is no image, just little bursts of electricity. And then they reach the brain, and somehow, no doctor, no scientist, nobody knows how. Somehow, this tiny electrical activity in the neurons becomes the image of a napkin. And we get the experience of seeing a napkin. Where? Not in the body and outside the body. No. Only inside the brain. True or not? Quite apart from any Advaita, any philosophy, nothing. It's just absolutely materialistic biology. True or not? You never have ever. It's impossible to experience the world outside directly. You cannot. All that you experience are the reconstructions of the world in your brain. True or not? Just basic biology. You don't need Advaita for this. In fact, even the fact that we have a body and a brain, that also is reconstructed by the brain inside. Is there really a world outside our perceptions? I am not saying this way or that way. If I say no, our perceptions are all that exist, there's actually no world out there, there's no body, brain, nothing, just perceptions, then that is called subjective idealism. Bishop Berkeley was a philosopher who propounded that. And 1500 years before Bishop Berkeley, the Buddhist Vijnanavadis in India, they said the same thing. If you say, no, we are experiencing the world in our brains, but there is really a world out there. That's what we are mapping in our brains. Then it's called realism. Realism. In modern philosophy, and the ancient Indian Naiyayikas and Vaisheshikas, they said the same thing again 2000 years ago. But the fact is, even according to modern science, basic school science, we never experience anything except our own perceptions. It's just one step beyond that. These perceptions are nothing apart from the awareness in which they are experienced. That's all Ashtavakra is saying. This itself is very interesting because imagine the annoying neighbor. You have never ever experienced that annoying neighbor. All you are experiencing is a reconstruction in your own mind. It's in your mind. Your most beloved person, mother who loves a child, has never ever experienced the child. Never. It's entirely in her own mind and can never be outside. Suppose that mother could not see, hear, smell, taste, touch, where would the child be? The child might be still outside, but the mother wouldn't experience it. The only thing that you have ever experienced are the reconstructions in your own mind. And you don't need Advaita to tell you that. It's a simple fact everybody knows, nobody pays attention to. The world cannot hurt us unless we permit it to hurt us. Why? It's not my quote. Eleanor Roosevelt. Why? Because the world has to first become us, our mind. Then only it can influence us. And what goes on in my mind, I should have some degree of control in my mind. So Ashtavakra says, all the objects which we are apart from, but they really are not apart from us. I'll repeat the statement. The objects which appear to awareness awareness is apart from the objects, it's separate from the objects. But the objects themselves are not separate from awareness. How so? It's like the water and the waves. The water can exist without the waves. It can be a waveless lake. But the waves cannot exist apart from the water. So, objects cannot there are no objects apart from what you experience, and there is no experience apart from you, the consciousness. That's what Ashtavakra is saying. Everything that you experience, all the objects, are you alone. You are there in all beings, and all beings are there in you. Example, the ocean and waves. The entire universe appears in you, not the body, that's ridiculous. In you, the awareness. In us, this awareness, ocean of awareness, like waves, what appears? Mind, thoughts, perceptions. And in the thoughts and perceptions, what appears? Body. And objects. And seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting, they are waves in the ocean of awareness which we are. None of it apart from us. Know that you are that, and consciousness, your very nature is consciousness. Be free of fever, this anxiety, terror and fear, and we're being chased through life as it were. Stop that. There's nothing that can really affect you. Now, the next verse, 8th verse. Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva, shraddhasva tata shraddhasva, natra moham kurushva bho, natra moham kurushva bho, jnana swarupa bhagavan, jnana swarupo bhagavan, atma tvam prakrite paraha, atma tvam prakrite paraha. Have faith in this, my son, my child. Do not be confused on this point. You are of the nature of pure consciousness. The self is nothing other than pure consciousness. God is nothing other than pure consciousness. You are forever beyond material nature. This is the meaning of the verse. You means awareness. You, the awareness, the consciousness. Other than you, the consciousness, there is no self. There is no I. And other than you, the consciousness, there is no God. And he says, have faith in this. Believe in this. So there is a shortcut. What happens is, when we hear all this, we get a feeling, all right, it sounds really nice and I'm beginning to get it, but I think I have to put in a lot of meditation and a lot of spiritual practice, and then when I'm enlightened, then I will really get this. I will be the infinite self and all the results, whatever Ashtavakra is saying. I hope one day it will happen to me. There's a shortcut. If you're interested in the shortcut, here is the shortcut. What is the shortcut? Ashtavakra says, instead of waiting for enlightenment, instead of waiting for realization, Brahma-jnana, realization, knowledge of Brahman, do one thing. Just believe that you are Brahman. When? Now. Just start believing that you are Brahman. I was so happy to hear that one of the nuns told me that Swami Shivananda, a monk, approached Swami Shivananda, who is a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, and said, "How do I become enlightened?" And he said, "Believe that you are already enlightened and live accordingly." That's the shortest path. Amazing. Nisargadatta, whom we mentioned, many people read the book, I Am That. Somebody asked him, "How did you become enlightened?" He said, "My guru told me that I am Brahman. I believed him, one. And I lived accordingly." Two very important things. Again, not very easy. I believed him and I lived accordingly. The Swami, it's very difficult to believe this and to hold on to that. All right, concession, don't even hold on to it. Just practice it, believe it for 10 minutes a day. I'm quoting a Swami, very humorous teacher, who said, 10 minute abhyas kar lo. Believe it for 10 minutes. For the rest of the day, you can believe the erroneous thing that I'm a body, I'm a mind. Fine. But just start by practicing 10 minutes of this, that I believe I am Brahman. What is it like if I am Brahman? The fact is we are that awareness. If I start believing I am that awareness, not a body, not a mind, I shift the stand. Instead of standing in the body-mind, I stand as awareness. Then how does my paradigm of life, point of view about life, shift? Difficult to believe. Really, we believe so many things. That Swami put it so humorously. He said, we believe so many things. We believe advertisers. We believe politicians. So he said humorously, "How do you know that that person is your father?" "My mother told me." How do you know that? How does your mother know that you are her baby? The nurse told her. So all this very important thing in your life, fundamental thing in your life, depends on an overworked nurse who delivers dozens of babies in a day. And all of your life is based on this. Nurse told me. Nurse told. Then in Hindi, the Swami said, "To hum kya nurse se bhi gaye gujre hain?" Am I less believable than the nurse? I am telling you. Ashtavakra is telling you. The Upanishads are telling you. Vedanta is telling you. Your very nature is divine. You are awareness. Logic is telling you. Philosophical reasoning is telling you. And if you check your experience, that's telling you. You are of the nature of awareness. Why do you not believe it? 10 minutes a day. Try it out. Just 10 minutes. That we can surely do. Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva. Believe this. Have faith, my child. Have faith. Natra moham kurushva bho. Do not be deluded on this point. What is delusion? Two kinds of delusion are possible. One is, I don't understand it. What is awareness? What is awareness? So confusion on that point. This is called asambhavana, impossibility. I don't understand these things. Self, awareness, consciousness, what are you talking about? So if you do not understand the teaching, I now know the teaching but I don't understand it, then that's called asambhavana, the impossibility problem. I think it's impossible what you are saying. Body is real and problems of the body and the mind and the world are real. That's it. And what is this you're talking about? I don't get it. So that's the first problem. Impossibility problem. The teaching is not possible. What you're saying is not real, not possible. So that is dealt with by the second stage of practice, mananam, reasoning. Where are you getting stuck? No, this awareness you're talking about, what is it? Very simple. Do you have the body? Is the body theoretical right now? No, Swami, body is here. So, you can see the body? Yes. What are you which sees the body? Is the body seeing the body? Yeah. What are you in there which is aware of the body? That is awareness. Oh, no, that's just the mind. All right, the mind. Consider the mind. What is the mind? Thoughts. Desires, emotions, questions. Are you aware of the thoughts and emotions and questions and desires? Yes. Then you are aware of the mind. What is aware of the mind? That is awareness. Not conceptual, not theoretical. It's a real thing. So this is the second stage of practice. Hearing or listening, reasoning, meditation. The second one is this reasoning. This reasoning is used to overcome the impossibility problem, impossibility doubt, that it's not possible. There's another kind of doubt, another kind of problem, which is called viparita bhavana, which is contrary tendencies. I know the teaching, I understand the teaching, now it's clear to me, but my body and mind, it has a certain inertia. There are patterns of behavior. There's conditioning over a lifetime and possibly many lifetimes. I'm conditioned to think and feel and speak and react as a body. And that will not go immediately. So that has to be dealt with by meditation, which is nididhyasana, where we assimilate this knowledge. I've understood it, it's clear, now stay with it. Like Nisargadatta said, try to live it. I lived accordingly. So matra moham kurushva. Do not be deluded on this point. What are you? Very beautiful statement. Jnana swarupa bhagavan atma. You are awareness. Your very nature is awareness. Not a body with awareness. Awareness which is aware of a body. Are my words making sense? You are awareness. And you are aware of a body. Yeah. So awareness, other than that awareness, there is no self. The self is awareness only. Jnana swarupa atma. You are awareness only. Bhagavan, Jnana swarupa Bhagavan. God is nothing other than this awareness. What's the difference? That awareness, encased within quotes, in one body and mind, is I, the self, this single individual self. And that awareness, which is identified with all bodies and all minds and this entire universe, that is what we call God. So this is actually what can be called a Mahavakya. Mahavakya, profound sentence. That thou art. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, Tattvamasi. What is the definition of a Mahavakya? What qualifies? What sentence will qualify as a Mahavakya? That which expresses the identity of Brahman and Jiva. Jiva Brahma Aikya. The identity of Brahman and the Jiva, the sentient being. That absolute and I, the individual. They are one and the same thing. Any sentence that expresses that identity, an identity sentence, that is a Mahavakya. And this is an identity sentence. God and individual are the same. How? It's not possible. That's why dualists get wild when we say, are you claiming to be God? This is crazy. This is the extremes. This is the worst kind of megalomania. You're claiming to be God. I am God. How dare you claim that? So it drives dualists, theists wild. Their most beloved, worshipful, adorable God, and here comes this non-dualist says, I am God. No, you are not. You are just one tiny creature, and God is great. You are just powerless, and God is all-powerful. You know so little, and God is all-knowing. How can you be the same? Is the wave and the ocean, are they same? No. Wave is a tiny part, and the ocean is so vast. And yet, as water, they're the same. They're the same. As God, far more powerful than us, far greater than us, more glorious. Sarva Shaktiman, Sarvagya, Sarvavyapi, all powerful, all knowing, all pervasive. And we are Alpa Shaktiman, very weak. Alpagya, very, very little knowledge. And whatever we know, we quickly forget. Check by the time you're out of here. And is one little present you can take away from this. If you feel when you leave the place that I was very clear, people say I was very clear in the class, I understood in the class, but as we go out into life, I feel confused and it's all gone, right? Use this. Use this. As I feel that now I'm confused, I don't remember the whole teaching, and it does not seem I'm back to my usual whatever I was. That whatever I was, back to my usual thing. Are you aware of that? Of course. That awareness you are. That's all. It is that awareness which was aware of the teachings. It is that awareness which is aware of confusion. In itself, is the awareness ever confused? No. It is aware of the rising of confusion in the mind. It is aware of rising of the clarity in the mind and the disappearance of clarity in the mind and the coming of confusion in the mind. That awareness is always crystal clear. That you are. You can never lose that. Bhagavan Atma. Now the wave and the ocean example, there's one slight problem. You might still think in a corner, we might still think in a corner of our minds, yeah, you're right, Swami is right. The wave is water and the ocean is water, but the ocean has lots more water than the wave. So wave has a little bit of water and the ocean has lots of water. So we have a little bit of consciousness and God has a lot of consciousness, maybe. Something like that. No. See, an example has limitations. The wave, water, ocean example is that much you take. That wave is also water, ocean is also water. But don't go into more water, less water. So examples are limited. When it says, Jnana Swarupa Bhagavan Atma, you the self, are consciousness itself. And God is consciousness itself. And it's one consciousness, not more or less. Now, death. 2 verses. How do you deal with death? 8, 9 and 10. Gunai samveshtito deha, Gunai samveshtito deha, Tishthatyayati yati cha, Tishthatyayati yati cha, Atma naganta naganta, Atma naganta naganta, Kimenam manushochasi, Kimenam manushochasi. The body is made of the 3 gunas, is constituted of the 3 gunas, made of Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We can just say the body is made of the 5 elements, or 5 elements? Sky, earth, fire, water, and so on, wind and all of that. Or we can just say, if you're modern science, so many elements in the periodic table, the body is made of matter. All that is put together must one day fall apart. All that is compounded must one day fall apart. In fact, the very word sharira, the Sanskrit word for body, sharira, it means shiryate, that which is continuously falling apart. A young person would say, no, it is not. I'm doing pretty fine. Wait till you hit 40. A doctor said, Swami, with our modern medical science, we can say that you'll live long, but I can't guarantee that you'll live well. So 40, above 40, it's all the way down. If you manage the body well, healthy living and exercise and so on and so forth, then you'll have less trouble. And if you do not manage it, you'll have more trouble. But trouble you will have. So that which is falling apart, that is the body. Dehas tishtati yad ayati yati cha. The body is born, it comes into existence, it's put together. And it exists, it grows, it matures. And it goes, yati, it dies. The 6-fold changes. In classical Sanskrit, there's a dictionary, Yaska. He defines 6-fold changes for the body. Jayate, asti, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, nashyati. Jayate means the body is born. Being born, it comes into existence. Second. It was not there, now it is a new put together thing. Baby is born, the baby is there. And then, vardhate, it grows. A baby becomes a little child and a teenager and a young person. It grows and matures and develops. And then, Viparinamati, maturation. It reaches a plateau. Yeah, hits 40. And 50. And 60. Then apakshiyati begins to deteriorate. You can't. It's difficult to restrain its downward decline. At a certain age, we think we can get only better. No, it doesn't. And then finally the body falls apart. All compounded things decay. The Buddha's insight. Anityam, anityam, sarvam anityam. Impermanent, impermanent, indeed all is impermanent. Transient, transient, indeed all is transient. Not just transient, not just impermanent. Moment to moment it is changing. Kshanikam, kshanikam, sarvam kshanikam. Momentary, momentary, all is momentary. Not only momentary, not only impermanent, not only momentary. Empty. Void, void, all is void. Shunyam, shunyam, sarvam shunyam. All is emptiness, all is emptiness. And therefore, anityatvat, kshanikatvat, shunyatvat. Dukkham, dukkham, sarvam dukkham. All is sorrow, sorrow, indeed all is sorrow. Really, he was a pessimist. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He's an optimist. He tells it like it is. Heinrich Zimmer, who was a well-known Indologist, he says all the philosophies of India are actually optimistic. They seem to rain on your parade, but they are actually optimistic. All of them are saying that there is actually a solution to the problems of human life. They give it many names. Moksha, Nirvana, Kaivalya, Apavarga. There are many ancient names for this. Across the board, whether it is the Nyaya philosophy, the Vaisheshika philosophy, the Sankhya philosophy, the Yoga philosophy, the Mimamsa philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, the Buddhists or the Jainas, all of them say that there is a solution to the problem of human life. They are optimistic. Except that the solution does not lie in the body or in matter. It lies in, it's a spiritual solution to human life. So the philosophies of India, Heinrich Zimmer says, all of them are universally optimistic. Though at first sight they may seem very gloomy. Like the Buddhists, for example. Swami Tapasyananda ji, who was the vice president of our order, I have heard from Swami Sarvapriyananda ji that Swami Tapasyananda ji would say, Buddhism is a serious religion. Unless you accept from the very beginning that all is sorrow, Buddhism doesn't begin for you. So, yes, the body comes, stays for a while, goes. You experience the coming of the body, you experience the growth and change and eventual decay of the body, and we will experience the passing of. We means awareness. We will be aware of the passing of the body also. Atma naganta naganta. Awareness, the self, which is awareness, never came, never went. It does not come and go. All comings and goings are in awareness. Suppose the awareness is going somewhere. How do you know? In awareness. So things can go. An object goes away. The body decays. The mind changes. All of these are evident to awareness. But what will be the proof of the coming or going of awareness itself? Impossible to know. There is no coming and going of awareness. Kimenam manushochasi. From the point of view of awareness, why do you sorrow about the body? When you put it that way, it seems ridiculous. Why do we weep and moan and bemoan? The body is dying. Of course, what else will it do? It's supposed to die. What is it to you? You are unscathed. You are safe. He says, the next one, Dehas tishtatu kalpantam, Dehas tishtatu kalpantam, Gacchatvadhyaiva vapuna, Gacchatvadhyaiva vapuna, Kva vriddhi kva cha vahani, Kva vriddhi kva cha vahani, Tava chinmatra rupina, Tava chinmatra rupina. How bold! Let the body stay for eons, not one lifetime. Let this body stay for ages. Now they're actually trying it, and nowhere else except California. They have this whole business going now, this cryopreservation. We don't have medical technology to reverse aging, to save the dying body, but we can freeze it. And it will stay like that for a long time. And when we are ready to revive it, we have advanced technology, we can revive the body. What delusion! Ashtavakra would be horrified. It's like a car, your vintage car. It's not running, it's rusting. No, I'll hold on to that. Give it away, replace it, get another car. It's nothing to you. So it's like I'm going to hold on to the body. Why is this? There are Silicon Valley billionaires who are investing in anti-aging, reversing aging, and how to become immortal in this body. Ashtavakra would be amazed at the delusion we suffer from. You are already immortal, and in something much better than the body. In awareness, in consciousness, which you are. Having forgotten that, identifying with this one bundle of matter, you see how to preserve this. You cannot. The Buddha was right. All compounded things decay. Impermanent, all is impermanent. Momentary, all is momentary. Empty, all is empty. What is empty? Object. Therefore, if you hold on to the object, I will freeze it, I will reverse it. Dukkham, sarvam dukkham. You're signing your real death warrant. You'll be trapped in sorrow. Never do that. Let the body stay for eons. Or gachattu addeva vapuna. Let it die today. Look at the boldness of this. Let it die today. No, I have so many things to accomplish. Don't worry. You will accomplish everything that you want. After all, who can stop you? You are awareness itself. If the body is supposed to go today, let it go. Nothing to you. It's nothing to you. How many bodies have disappeared every night when you are dreaming, you wake up, the body you are dreaming in is gone. Ashtavakra says, this body, which seems to be real, and that body which seems to be imaginary, both are equally valuable or equally valueless to you, the immortal consciousness. Look at the boldness of it and how much strength it gives. Kvavriddhi kvachavahani. What do you gain if the body stays for eons? What do you lose if the body dies today? Nothing. But only if you know yourself as Chinmatra Rupina, as consciousness itself, as awareness. Carl Jung said that almost all of my patients he says middle-aged patients, middle-aged and above, all their suffering, the inner suffering, is directly or indirectly related to the fear of death. Fear of death. Ernst Becker, who wrote that book, The Denial of Death, it won a Pulitzer Prize decades ago. It's a very psychoanalytic book. He was a follower of Jung and Freud. He says the greatest fear in our lives is the fear of dying. Many of us would say, no, I'm not afraid of dying. I don't even think about it. He would say, you don't think about it. He calls this not thinking about it the denial of death. And this denial of death is expressed in what he calls immortality projects. What are immortality projects? We sense that we are going to die. And our reaction to this is immortality projects. What are immortality projects? The most common one is a family, children. Another immortality project is build an empire or a corporation, something, immortality project. Write a book, denial of death, that's an immortality project. Religion, he says, religion, the most common immortality project. Somehow the assurance there is a God who will save us from death. We'll be ultimately saved from death. Religion is not wrong, But the most direct approach is in Ashtavakra. Death does not touch you if you are awareness. It cannot. It's an object in your awareness. So he says all the great projects of human life in civilization, whatever we have done, he calls all of them immortality projects. Good, bad, whatever people have done, they stem from the fear of. Maybe he's exaggerating that, but it shows how important, how central is the terror of death and how we suppress it. Then verse number 11. Tvayananta maham bodho, Tvayananta maham bodho, Vishwavichi swabhavata, Vishwavichi swabhavata, Udetu vastamayatu, Udetu vastamayatu, Nate vriddhi navakshati, Nate vriddhi navakshati. In you, the infinite ocean, limitless ocean of awareness. All right, let me ask you a thing. Where is the limit of your awareness? Where is the limit of your awareness? Where does it stop? Why? Here it stops. I can't see beyond the door. There's the limit of your vision. And beyond the door is 101, the freeway, and LA, and beyond that is the Pacific Ocean. Above that is the sky, none of which I can see. But how can I say all of that? All of that is in my awareness, is it not? I am aware of an unseen world out there, true or not? So that unseen world I'm talking about, which I cannot see, yes, there's a limit to my vision. But that unseen world is also in my awareness as an unseen world. Here is a seen world, and there is a vast unseen world. And that vast unseen world, how am I able to talk about it unless I'm aware that there is something out there? It's still in my awareness. The entire universe is present to you in your awareness as the known and the unknown. Even in your dream, when we dream, in our dreams, isn't it something like this? We can see people, things are happening, and we have a place where we can see sky and maybe buildings and little bit, and we think outside this there's so much more going on which I cannot see, hear, smell, taste or touch. We think that. In our dream, is it true? Are you with me so far? And when we wake up, we realize all that we saw and all that we imagined was outside our seeing, hearing, all of that was in my mind. Yeah. Just like that, here also. It's literally true. I know many of you think it's something strange, but it's actually a simple fact. Whatever world, universe you're thinking about and whatever we know about it, it's in your awareness. It's a simple fact. It cannot be otherwise. So we have in our center Bill Conrad, who is 95 years old, feisty. He's a Second World War veteran. He is a biophysicist, and he doesn't swallow everything. Everything is in consciousness. He says, "No, Swami. Suppose we all left this room." This is his thought experiment, and we kept a video camera running here, and then we come back in. So there was nobody here. If the room was in awareness, there's nobody who is aware here. We went out. All living beings gone from this room, and the video camera is running, and we come back in. The camera would show the room exactly as it was, just people were not there. So how do you say that the room is in awareness? All awareness was taken out of the room. You know what Ashtavakra would say? Ashtavakra would say, Bill, that I left the room, there is a room with a camera running in it, and then I come back and I see the film in the camera that there was an empty room and it's exactly as it was with people and without people. All of that is in your awareness. Is it not? To make it clearer, could you repeat the same experiment in your dreams and get the same result? Yes. And then you would wake up and see the whole thing was in my mind. True or not? Isn't it possible? Think about it. There is no limit, no edge to awareness. Tvai ananta maham bodho. In you, the infinite, limitless, edgeless, boundaryless ocean of awareness. The universe is like a wave, Vishwa Vichi, which comes up naturally. You, the ocean of consciousness, you come up in waves like this universe. And let it come up. Let the wave come up. The ocean is not increased if the waves come up. Let it subside. The ocean is not decreased if the waves subside. In life, in awareness, if a body is born, if birth comes, wealth comes, health comes, fame comes, awareness is not increased thereby. And if age comes, and disease comes, and loneliness comes, and death comes, and loss comes, and dishonor comes, and poverty comes, awareness is not decreased thereby. We, as the awareness, apart from body and mind, as awareness, looking upon the world with body, mind, and the external world. External means in awareness. External to what? External to body, but not external to awareness. In awareness. This awareness, is it male or female? Huh? Yeah. Neither. In New York, we have 31 genders. At least one place we are ahead of California. No, by law, by New York state law, recognized. If you Google it, you will find 31 genders. Which one of them is awareness? None of them. Is awareness American or Indian or Asian or Chinese or Japanese? No. Is awareness rich or poor? Doesn't compute. Is awareness happy or miserable? This awareness, it is in that these waves arise and disappear back into the ocean of awareness. You neither gain anything nor lose anything. Try this as a meditation. Sit absolutely quietly, unmoving, relaxed. Then you close your eyes and then say to yourself, I am awareness. Not by imagination. Notice that we are awareness. And yes, in my awareness, I see thoughts, feelings, I experience a body, sensations. All of that is in awareness. Think of all sensations which arise in us as waves in the ocean of awareness that I am. You will see deep meditation you will get. Whatever happens, a little irritation comes, that's a wave in awareness. In me, the awareness. A sound comes. It's a wave in awareness. Our mind reacts in irritation. Also a wave in me, the awareness. Whatever happens, notice it is nothing different from me. I alone am that. You will find you do not resist anything. Does the ocean resist the waves? It's a ridiculous concept. The water, the ocean, makes the waves possible. It's only in the ocean that the waves are possible. It's only in you, the awareness. Thoughts are possible. Emotions are possible. Perceptions are possible. Good and bad is possible. Pleasant and annoying is possible. You are that ocean in which these waves arise, you gain nothing thereby. They subside, you lose nothing thereby. You abide calmly. Alright, this awareness which we are, what does it lack? What could complete it? What more can you add to it to make it complete? The latest iPhone? That's the mind. You say, no, it would be nice to have it. The mind said it, in awareness. A little more money? That would be nice. This is the mind in awareness. Yeah. Awareness itself is aware of the desires of the mind, of their fulfillment, of their frustration, all of that. And of their disappearance is complete in itself. This is the meaning of Purnam. Awareness is Purnam, complete in itself. If you stay there, you will find all desires dissipating like clouds in the sky. Yeah. You're almost done. Let me just jump ahead and do the last verse, 16th verse. Yeah. Now we can easily understand this. 16th. Taveva jnanato vishvam, taveva jnanato vishvam, tvamekah paramarthata, tvamekah paramarthata, tvattvannyo nasti samsari, tvattvannyo nasti samsari, na samsari cha kaschana, na samsari cha kaschana. You are that infinite consciousness, that one infinite consciousness. By not knowing yourself as that infinite consciousness, all the objects which appear in you, which are nothing apart from you, the consciousness, they become a world to you. Let me repeat that. By not knowing yourself as infinite consciousness, in which all objects appear and are experienced and are nothing apart from you, the consciousness. Not knowing yourself as the infinite consciousness, what happens? You identify yourself with one object, the body and the mind. Immediately the rest of the objects gang up together and become your world. Taveva jnanato vishvam. By not knowing yourself as awareness, the world comes into being. A tiny part of that I take as this one. And the rest of you now become my world. I like, I dislike, I want to get rid of, I want to achieve this, I want to unachieve that. All of that is I myself, an unending ocean of awareness. Because I do not know myself as that, I see this multiplicity. Tvamekah paramarthata. In truth, in the absolute truth, you are this one unbroken ocean of awareness. Tvatto anyo. Other than you, this unbroken ocean of awareness, there is no samsari, there is no individual being which we think, I, Sarvapriyananda, I am a samsari, I am going through birth and death. Now to stop my birth and death, I am trying to learn Vedanta, get enlightenment, and for that I have become a monk. Ashtavakra would say, oh you fool. How ridiculous. You are the infinite ocean of awareness. To become yourself, you are trying all this. You don't have to do anything. You are that. Just know yourself as that. There are many nice stories about Ashtavakra and Janaka. So one of the small stories, many stories, they're all in the tradition. They are all transmitted word of mouth. So one story was this. One day, Janaka was sitting. Janaka is a dialogue. So he's been told that you are Brahman, your consciousness. He was sitting and chanting, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. I am consciousness, I am consciousness, I am consciousness. Ashtavakra looked at him and he came down and sat down next to him. He's a monk, so he has a water pot, like a kamandalu, and a stick. It's called danda. Water pot is mine, stick is mine. Water pot is mine, stick is mine. He started shouting. And Janaka goes on, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Water pot is mine, stick is mine. Water pot is mine, my stick is mine. Janaka got disturbed and said, oh holy sage, what are you saying? Water pot is mine, stick is mine. Yes, but who told you they are not yours? They are yours. Why do you have to shout that? Who told you you are not Brahman? Whoever told you that you are not awareness? There are many such stories. One story has become famous. It became viral on the internet. Some of you may have heard it. Ye sach ya wo sach. Some of you have heard it. Is this true or is that true? I told this, actually these stories I heard from the monks in the Himalayas. Just in the evening, we would go for bhiksha, that means the evening meal. That was at 4 o'clock. Because you have to finish before sunset. It becomes very dark and cold afterwards. So till it becomes dark, after that, after our evening meal, I would go for walks with the monks in a beautiful forest, glaciers running down, and very nice. And there we would discuss Vedanta or philosophy, and sometimes they would tell stories. So one story was is this true or is that true, which I have shared. Most of you have heard it? No? The Janaka and Ashtavakra. This is also Janaka Ashtavakra story. And another one, but there's no time now, so I would ask you to look it up. Or let's end with that story. That's a nice story to end with. Here he says, other than you, there is no samsari, no asamsari. Samsari means individual jiva, which goes from life, birth to death, and which is trying to get enlightenment. Who told you that? Ashtavakra would say, oh Sarvapriyananda, what are you trying to do? Oh, I am trying to realize I am Brahman. Who told you are not Brahman? And there is no asamsari. Asamsari means Ishvara here, God. There is no God apart from you, the awareness. You, the awareness, in your limited body and mind, this is you, the person. You, the awareness associated with the entire universe, is God. But in your own nature, you are neither a jiva nor are you Ishvara. You are Nirguna Brahman, pure awareness, pure consciousness. All right, let's end with the story. It'll take a couple of minutes. Would you like that? Yeah, okay. All right. Because Q&A, there's no time. We can go on and on. But the story is nice. So the story is this, that one day the Emperor Janaka, he went to sleep, and suddenly, late in the night, he was awakened by a soldier, a guard. Sir, your highness, please wake up. We are under great danger. The enemy has attacked our empire. So the Janaka jumps out of his bed and he says, get me my armor, my sword and my bow and arrow, and call the cavalry and call the generals. Let's go out and fight this invader. And they go out, and there's a terrible battle. And a terrible battle in which Janaka's army is defeated, and poor Janaka is captured and dragged before the enemy, the invader. And the invader says, oh Janaka, you come from royal birth, so I will not execute you, I will not kill you, but I exile you from your kingdom. Go, leave this kingdom, this empire, it's mine now, I've conquered it. And so poor Janaka, he stumbles out of the tent of the invader. He's tired and wounded and bleeding, and desperately he goes from house to house, give me a little bit of water, give me a little bit of food, and they are all his own capital. People say, oh sire, we are so sorry, but the new emperor is cruel, and it is tyrannical. We can't help you, he might kill us. And poor Janaka now, he can do nothing. He struggles onwards and onwards. Finally, he comes to the next kingdom, crosses the border, which leads me to think it couldn't have been that big an empire, So he goes to the next kingdom, and as he crosses the border, he sees this poor people being fed, like a soup kitchen. There it is, in India it is khichdi. So rice and lentils and dal and all of that, dal and rice and together. And the big cauldron, and it's being served. And Janaka stands in the line, in the queue. And when it is his turn, he's at the end of the queue, he comes forward, he can't take it anymore. He's tired and traumatized and deeply unhappy and depressed. And they give him a bowl, and they say that, well, it's all finished, but there's a little bit of gruel at the bottom of the cauldron. We can give it to you. You look like a good person fallen on hard days. And Janaka says, for the love of God, give me anything that you have. It's terrible. And they give him that one, and with trembling hand, he brings the bowl to his lips. A kite which was circling up there, it swoops down and knocks the bowl from his hand, which goes rolling in the dust. And Janaka cannot take it anymore. He collapses, falls in the dust, crying out. In Hindi, the story was ha ha kar karte huye, crying out ha ha. But ha ha in English is just the opposite of ha ha in Hindi. Yeah, that's the ha-ha in English. In Hindi and in Sanskrit, ha-ha means alas, alas. Crying out alas, Janaka collapses in the dust and sits up on his bed. And then he blinks, and the guard runs in and says, "Sir, did you shout? Did you call? Is anything wrong?" And Janaka, now we would have said, "Oh, it was a nightmare. What did I eat before going to bed?" It was a nightmare. But Janaka is a philosopher. He has had many, many Vedanta classes. So he says, "Was that true or is this true?" "Wo sach? Ya ye sach" in Hindi. "Wo sach? Ya ye sach." Was that true or is this true? And the guard is confused. He retreats in confusion. He goes and calls the queen. The queen comes, "Now what's wrong with you?" And at this late hour in the night, and the Janaka says, "Was that true or is this true?" The queen is confused. "Call the doctor." And the doctor comes and takes the pulse and says, "Emperor, your sire, what is wrong? Does it hurt? Tell me, was that true or is this true?" And that goes on. Next day, nothing is getting done in the court. And it spreads. There was no Twitter or Facebook or anything. But the grapevine is there. And it spreads across the city, the capital, that the emperor has gone crazy. And who is visiting the capital? But none other than the sage Ashtavakra, Janaka's teacher. He's walking down the market and he hears people gossiping. The emperor is crazy. He's lost his mind. He just keeps saying, "Was that true or is this true?" And Ashtavakra says, "I must visit my friend and disciple." And he goes to the court and he sees that the emperor is sitting there. His queen is there, and the ministers are there, and the generals are there, and the officers. But nothing is getting done because they come up maybe with a bill or something like that. "Emperor, please sign it." And he says, "Was that true or is this true?" And everybody is confused. They don't know what to say. And Ashtavakra comes and says to the emperor, "How are you today, emperor?" And the emperor says, "Was that true or is this true?" Ashtavakra, of course, he knows, he's a sage, so he knows what's in the emperor's mind. So he says, "That horror, that defeat, that humiliation, that pain and suffering when you were rolling in the dust and crying, the ha-ha bit, all of that, is that here now?" The emperor seems to come out of a stupor and says, "No." "And this, your glory, the queen and the generals and your army and your power and your empire and this throne, was all of this there when you were rolling in the dust there?" Janaka says, "No, this wasn't there and that is not here." "Then, O emperor, neither that is true nor this is true." "Na ye sach, na wo sach" in Hindi. Neither this is true, not. Now Janaka is horrified. Is nothing true? Then is nothing true? That is not true, this is not true, then nothing true, everything is false. Ashtavakra says, "O emperor, there that was not true. It was a dream. That was not true. But did you experience it?" "Yes." "So you were there. You, the experiencer, were there." "Yes." "And this is also not true. But are you experiencing it? That you cannot deny." "Yes." "You were there and you are here." "Yes." "Then, O emperor, neither this is true nor that is true, but you are the truth. You are the truth. Na ye sach, na wo sach, tum hi sach." You means consciousness, not the body. Not the body, the healthy body of the emperor and the body which is wounded and rolling in the dust. Both cannot be true. Which one is true then? The mind of the defeated emperor and the mind of the emperor resplendent in all his might, that also cannot be true. The both are contradictory. But the awareness which experienced that is the same awareness experiencing this. That is one and unchanged. True or false, whatever it is, has to be experienced by that awareness. That awareness is the truth. That thou art. Not only Emperor Janaka, but each of us. We are that one undivided ocean of awareness. Beyond death, beyond sorrow, beyond suffering. Ever fulfilled. We are that. Tattvamasi. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.